for it. I'm really here for it. I think that we could see some big rip tires, but I think at this point a lot of people know how to actually like kind of play through some of the Junkrat spam. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll find out a little bit later, Danny, but unfortunately we're not gonna see it today.
I mean, maybe, who knows? I mean, we're looking at our first match of today. It's gonna be ENCE versus Quick Esports, and we're seeing ENCE's lineup. Joss, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I mean, it's ENCE. Like, I think that's all you really need to say. Like,
yeah,
they ended up winning last stage. They have Kai and Kevster. They have Sky and Kellex, an incredibly solid backline. And the backline right now is like super important. And we'll get onto this in a little bit later as well, with Juno being available for stage 4. Pretty much 100% pick rate, I would imagine. But I mean, ENCE versus Quick, like, this is going to be, well, a quick game, I think, in a 3-0. Pun very much intended.
Pun very much intended. Yeah, Quick Esports. I mean, they are definitely the underdogs. Rose, what do you think about Quick Esports?
Definitely underdogs in terms of the players that are on this team, but also in just the team cohesion, because this is a team that just came together for stage 4 from multiple different teams in OWCS. We've got Hitori coming through from Super Shy, Strepper from Nuage, Johan from Gaming Gladiators, Loren from Ex Oblivione, and Ken from Aw Yeah. And so bringing these teams and players together, I think is just, you're already trying to go up a creek without a paddle in some ways, and you have to run into ENCE as one of your first opponents of the group stage. I think Quick Esports can get it done. I do think that they have a strong ability to give some really good highlights of the day and also prove why they can be the second team that comes out of the group stage, but ENCE is very, very tough. It would be great to see them actually get an upset here today.
I mean, Jack said it was going to be a quick 3-0. Rose, do you also feel that way? I mean, I feel like all the community poll, looking at the community poll, I mean, a lot of people also agree with Jack.
I don't want it to be a 3-0. I think it is going to be a 3-0, but of course we don't actually want that.
93 to 7%.
93%
versus 7%.
A value prediction on the 7%. I mad respect it, actually. A lot of quick heads out there. I mean, look, there is a small possibility, I think, a map can be taken off of ENCE, but that is a very, very slim chance, I think. I think this might just be a 3-0. Like, ENCE are just such a powerhouse in the region. Like, coming off a stage win is, like, fantastic. And, I mean, the team is just full of legends then.
True. I mean, hey, we'll find out what the score is going to be. Let's jump right into the action. Jack and Rose, take it away.
Thanks, Danny.
Thank you, Danny. He's so back. Oh, no way.
Yay.
Rose, look at this map right here. Look at the center of your screen currently. Clash/Flashpoint. So, New Junk City Surabasa, or we can go to Hanaoka / Throne of Anubis. New game mode here in Clash. It's been picked a little bit, Rose, in Korea, EMEA, and NA. Not as much as Flashpoint has. Obviously, at this point, an older mode, right? So people are more familiar with how to play it, how to, what kind of comps they want to run, what they're comfortable with, etc. But are you expecting we're going to see a little bit of Clash here? Because I think for ENCE, probably want to stick for the old tried and true. Of course, losers pick as well, so we can go to any game mode second map.
I think we could, though. Quick Esports actually did play on Hanaoka yesterday versus Waspo No in their first match of the group stage, and so if there's any team that has already had experience, it could be Quick, maybe thinking that a new game mode would be one way that they could throw ENCE off of their game. But heading over to Lijiang Tower, we're looking at a pretty big brawl here, I think, Jaws, especially when this is going to be the first map to open up the series. It's going to be a lot of Juno, a lot of break.
Yeah, a lot of Juno. And that's the thing I wanted to talk about straight up was Juno existing in the meta almost at 100% pick rate. There's very few times, I think, where you can run something else. I think at the moment in time with her stats, she is basically like a stat stick. If you're familiar with WoW terms, it's there. It doesn't do anything, but it provides you an immense amount of stats. Juno is exactly that. Like the raw power, the ultimate, the mobility, even the hitbox, to be fair, how quickly she is when she uses her shift. She's a very tricky character. We'll see Quick Esports locking in with the Juno Lucio to start off with, but ENCE going with the more quite traditional at this point in time, the Juno in the Brig.
Yeah, the Juno in the Brig is way more common, but we have seen Quick Esports yesterday just use Juno and Lucio. I don't know if you're really getting much more, though, than just massive amounts of speed. And remember that we do have a speed modifier capped at 75%. So you're going to have to watch those cooldowns, make sure you're not actually going to be overlaying that speed way too much. But it is a great way to get in there and actually try to run down the team when you can cycle through all of those speed boosts.
Yeah, you're definitely the most mobile team in the server if you have both of those, right? Yeah, you can choose the speed ring first or use the amp and then the other way around, you know. So nice little kill initially there from Hattori, taking down Kevster. Quite unfortunate for the mate. This Ram brawl, sometimes quite hard to kind of stand up against the Orisa. You can get bopped back quite often with that spear. Although Hattori kind of trapped behind the wall. Another big pick actually in this meta has been the Mei. With a lot of people running these brawly tanks, Mei just gets so much unbelievable value. Nice headshot there from Kevster, and to quickly find the flip there.
It's really nice to have the Mei because it actually shuts down a lot of the potential to run something like a Tracer or any more of these flank-oriented heroes that would give Juno a lot of trouble. So not only do you have the Brig to really help protect the Juno in that sense, but you have this Mei to deter any of those flankers. And so yeah, I mean, you've got Kevster playing the Mei here for ENCE, one of the best Meis in the entire region. I feel like this just sets ENCE up for success so much.
Although Kevster's already used that block and is actually running for his life right now. Vestola ends up popping that Nemesis form in the front line, takes down Ken. Now Lorenz maybe suffering from a frosty death. Ends up, not quite escaping. Looked like Lorenz maybe b-hopped out of the LOS of Snowball, but not to be. Lorenz split off from the rest of the team, and Ken going down as well. Quick Esports Rose, they got a lot of like frontal damage, a lot of good damage to take down someone like Vestola, but even after the armor change on the Ram and even the bug being fixed as well, like, I don't know, the Ram power block is still super powerful as Quick Esports trying for another push.
Right, and then you're gonna have that Brigitte rally on top of that in just a couple of moments, but we're gonna kick things off with the Bob.
Yeah, I mean, Bob coming in, Blizzard in the backline as well. Kai's Bob instantly taken down. Terror Surge on top of the point and on top of the wall too. There's a maximum spin there from Hattori, but still not unable to take down Kevster, who is just firmly in that ice block. All doing a good job, actually, of stopping this annihilation, getting a lot of damage, but still ENCE in control. Without your Lucio, Quick Esports, only with that speed ring to get out of there. And still with an ult in the bank as well. Got that rally for this last fight.
Oh, it's just a great trade there for ENCE. I mean, you got everything out of Quick Esports' pocket. You even got a chance to use the orbital ray from Juno last. With this rally, it should seal the deal here on this first point.
Yeah, they know they had that advantage. Ken even switching over to the Hanzo as well. Trying to get some one-shots. Of course, Hanzo was changed recently too. A little bit more consistent on the one-shots, not just taking down some snipers. Can take down a lot of people. They're very, very old Hanzo at this moment in time, so not the strangest pick of all, but it will be Quick Esports going down. I mean, when you've got that rally and you're just speed ringing 5 people, really tough to kind of stand up to a test of all that damage, and it's for the first round.
It's also hard to get past those Mei ice walls. Even though you have the Hanzo and you've got the Storm Arrows that can help to break the ice really quickly, you still have to figure out a way to actually land that damage down behind a Mei ice wall, as well as the shield from the Ramatra. I think it could be really... let's not forget the Brig shield. There's a lot of things you got to try to weave that damage past.
Yeah, I wonder if Quick Esports are going to steer over to the Brig. I don't mind the Lucio pick, but it does feel like the weaker of the two backlines right now, and yeah, we aren't. And actually, Lorenz switching over to the Farah, of all things. Ken on the Ashe now.
We actually did see this from Quick Esports yesterday. Loren opting to play the Farah on both Gardens and Market, where we are now. And this is just powerful. You've got so much spam damage. If the Hanzo was going to have trouble getting past those shields, the Farah is not. Those are going to be breaking very fast with all of that splash damage. And direct rockets too. You're going to be farming up this barrage pretty quickly.
Oh, what? Oh,
there you go.
I just ends up going down in the back line to Lorenz. Just the spam there. All good. We'll see ENCE want to stay in here. Probably not, though. Point gets capped by Quick Esports first again.
Yeah, I mean, Farah's just one of those characters that really tests your team's ability to cycle through those cooldowns, and if you need to make sure that you have like the wall online, the Ramatra shield, and just cycle through things really effectively. Otherwise, this Farah is going to keep wrecking your team. I mean, Vistal is already half HP by the time he's actually moving on to the point.
All right, Hattori already forced to use that block, spear, and javelin coming up in just a moment, so the staying power of the Orisa is up almost to 100% right now. She's receiving a heck of amount of heals in the front line too, but Vestola finally kind of forcing her out. Eventually, the kill does end up coming through from Kellex, of all people, as well, onto the Lucio. Here comes the barrage. Loren gets a lot of rockets down onto the floor, takes down the Brig, but Vestola swinging his fists, getting an uppercut on the Farah, as Kevster saves himself with the block, and slowly but surely there, Quick Esports picked apart.
There is the downside to the Pharah, that while you do have some very good damage, that ultimate makes you a sitting duck. And so even though Loren actually got a chance to use the Barrage as one of the first ultimates in this round, you just made it for yourself easy pickings for the rest of the team. Now we're heading into kind of the next phase of these ultimate rotations, where you're going to start to see teams really be tempered with their use of these ultimates. We got both Juno ults online. We've got the Mei ult from Kevster. That should be a fight winner right there if in good position.
Tori forced to use everything there. Still got Terror Surge available. She does end up using that Terror Surge to grab Vestola back in, who was isolated from the rest of his team as well. The Blizzard finds basically next to nothing. And Tori didn't even get frozen up there at all. And still have Orbital Ray. They've got the rally. It looks like Kellex is going to try and get out of the fight, but Kevster from across the map ends up sniping Johan. Quick Esports with a small rotation though, despite losing the Juno, end up capping the point. And now they're going to have to rely on this beat potentially from the Lucia to keep them alive. A quick switch from it, slow Rose. They end up going over to the D.Va to get back to the point in time. Quick Esports end up using the beat. Johan's coming in just a moment. Kevster needs some help. A rally deployed from Kellex, and this Orbital Ray can be deployed at any moment here as ENCE now swarm the point and find the flip.
Ooh, that's even not just good to be able to get back to the point, but also really good to soak up all of this damage coming through from the rockets and any other projectiles from the other team. And so you're going to see them put up one heck of a fight, but it's going to be this late orbital raise from both teams.
Alex is in the front line right now. These rockets will hurt if they do land, but it's just Kai sniping Ken and Sturbor out of the map, and ENCE now putting themselves on final fight territory. Quick Esports, so unlucky. They almost had the flip there, which probably would have resulted in ENCE maybe having to fight 2 fights here, but they're taking it all the way to spawn, spotting out Hattori on this mega health pack, and a body blocking it till the cows come home. Kevster, and yeah, there's no way Sturbor survives there, and this should just be ENCE claiming this round and map.
Oh, you even just threw the bomb in there for some fun, just in case anybody is able to escape out of spawn. But that is going to be ENCE taking the very first map of our series, and sort of how we expected, Jaws. Pretty convincing for both rounds of that map.
Yeah, they're like super convincing. I mean, ENCE, it's ENCE. Like, why are you betting against them? I understand the value prediction, the 7%. I agree with it. I don't mind it at all, but the 93% in the chat, yeah, not too much of a shock there. What more can be really said about ENCE? They're still on fire coming off of last stage. Even this small meta change, their backline is incredibly dependable, but also the tank line too. So many tanks now, Rose. It's not just like Perma D.Va. You need to be able to play Ram, D.Va, Monkey, like everything, and they've got that in spades.
Yeah, Monkey maybe not as easy, I think, for Vestola specifically to have to bring out, but if I'm not mistaken, and still has Chase in their back pocket as someone that can come in to actually play the Winston. So there is a lot of flexibility in this roster, and as you said, I think like Sky's worked really hard to be able to bring out Juno alongside any of those other flex support picks, and then Kellex as well. Having to bring up the Brig, I think ENCE, despite the firepower and just the star power that's on this roster, has put in a ton of hard work as a team in between both stages to learn some new heroes.
Yeah, look at that. Orbital Rays, Annihilation, what? Oh, we're so back. We are so back. It's GOATS all over again. Juno GOATS. I mean, people were kind of joking about it the other week in the Face It Master League, but yeah, Juno with the Orbital Ray, it can be very, very tough to even fight into a lot of the time. It's like old Kitsune Rush, right? After Kitsune Rush got nerfed a little bit, you don't really want to fight into it, but if you do double layer them, both Junos throwing out the rays at the same time, it is possible. You can come up with kills, but the kills come through so quickly, it's almost impossible for a lot of the supports to react. Because Kevster, for example, or Kai, sorry, it's just like boom, one headshot for the Ash, you know, like 2-tap the body, like it just does so much. Juno is just so strong right now, it's a little absurd. There's the stats from the last map as well, KDA 0.2. Yeesh, that's not great for Quick Esports, but again, we are expecting ENCE to kind of walk away with this one.
I think we should though, right? Especially when ENCE is one of the stronger teams in the region. I think they need to make it very clear that they are still one of those dominant teams. So a 3-0 here after a 3-0 yesterday would be a huge statement to show the rest of the teams like, we're here to play. We're not fooling around, but we are here to just make our way to the DreamHack Stockholm very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, and speaking of that, Space Station, ENCE pretty much guaranteed to make it. It's really on Virtus Pro of all teams in EMEA right now to really lock themselves in that third place spot. Of course, with how the groups end up going down, they'll probably end up meeting each other, and I think the test will really be there. Virtus Pro versus ENCE will be very exciting. I've got a feeling though ENCE is just going to continue this run. I think the team has really been on the up and up. A little bit of a disappointing early stage in stage one, like earlier half of the year, but the team has just shored up a lot of their weaknesses, and adding someone like Chase to the roster as well, it's just kind of perfect. It's really rounded out the entire team, and I think, to be fair to you, Space Station have also done the same thing. I mean, adding KSA to pick up something like the Diva for the team, the EMEA teams, especially the upper half ones, Rose, it really feels like they're just getting stronger and stronger and stronger as the stages progress.
Well, I think every player also wants a spot on some of those elite teams, and no secret why. If you're winning, you want to stay winning. You also want to prove that you can actually hang with the big dogs. So if you can get on Virtus Pro, you can get on ENCE or Space Station. I think those are definitely the three teams a lot of players will consider as really good prospects, but it's not just about them. We still have a ton of teams, like Exoblivione has been a feeder team for a lot of teams. They have bred so many incredible players throughout the seasons where they have, like Chase getting taken from Exoblivione. You have a bunch of other players that have followed in that suit, even just this season of OWCS alone. And I think you can look to a lot of other teams who have done the same. Team Peps, I think, is another one of those teams that you look at having had a ton of successful players walk through those doors at one time or another.
Can any EU team and/or NA team take on Korean teams? That's the big question, I think, at Stockholm. But that's a little bit too far in the future. That
depends on the meta. I think it has to depend on the meta.
I wonder if Juno's still going to be met. Probably at Stockholm. I'm not sure. Of course, yes, that's yet to be seen. Losers picks format, of course, which will mean Quick Esports end up choosing the mode and the map. Midtown. I haven't seen this one in a little while, Rose, on the main broadcast.
That's true. But they played it yesterday.
Right.
They ended up playing Pharah, Tracer, Diva, Lucio, and Juno on this map, bringing in a Mei here and there, especially on defense. So maybe this is sort of we can play the Diva 2 angle, maybe try to force Festola to have to play the Diva. Hitori has a wonderful Ramatra and a wonderful Diva. Very much a standout on that old Super Shy roster from Stage 3, and also somebody that a lot of people have said can be a very strong leader for a team. So despite the fact that this is the first amalgamation, or like a kind of a random amalgamation of players across multiple different teams, I think Hitori has the opportunity to really bring everybody together.
All right, it's looking a little bit different on the defense here, with Vestola on the Orisa, no Ram. But Kalex just still on the Brig. Looks like maybe they're changing, not sure. I just see a few of them running back to the spawn. But I would just like them to stick with this. Maybe they change. Okay, Kev's going to Tracer instead. Sky quickly jumping over to Lucio to speed everybody back because the gates are opening in just a moment. So small change there. Kevster from the mate onto the Tracer. A bit more aggressive. Has to be careful though of Lorena and of course of Ken. Kevster pretty used to dealing with very, very high powered and Tracer Eraser type heroes.
That's true, but the Tracer can be so powerful versus this Juno. Juno's really squishy. Even though she has a lot of utility, she's actually very easy to take out, especially if you can track those cooldowns, and she doesn't have something like the Glide online to actually get away, or the Hyper Ring either. So Kevster's going to be paying attention to that. Like, Hyper Ring is already out there from Yoham, so when is the good opportunity to actually try to go in and snipe out that Juno?
Yeah, I think one thing is worth keeping in mind as well, with the Brig specifically, it's so much easier to keep a Juno alive. You could just throw the packs out to the Juno in the skies. You're not like using AoE healing like the Lucio or trying to hit people with the right click of BAP or the Ana or whatnot. Nice little rotation there from Quick Esports, but Ken was caught out a little bit too early. Ken's playing super aggressive, and they want to, right? If you're playing the main, maybe you hold back a little bit, wait for a cross, put up a wall onto somebody, and then catch someone out that way. But because they've got Kevster on this Tracer Rose, they're more than happy to fight quick on the cross.
I mean, you saw them take out Ken with a snap of a finger. Kevster was on it like a hawk. And so you're going to see this happen a lot, where if Quick Esports continue to dawdle and take their time to actually go into these smaller chokes, or they're taking a route that gives Kevster this flank access, this is going to happen time and time again. It's not just a Juno, it's going to be the Ashe, it's even going to be the Lucio. They're going to be really easy targets for that collapse.
Yeah, how quickly
So
those ultras
early.
build up. All right, and here comes the orbital ray. Both of them they're gonna cross the B's for the time being. Vestola just going straight to the back line, trying to focus down Ken here, but it is Ken that makes Kai fall over, just throws the dynamite at him, and in the orbital ray as well, it's so hard to react, so quick does the damage come through. A small trade as Quick Esports end up getting 2 ticks on the point, and with 2 minutes to go, Quick Esports might be able to lock this one in without too much extra time wasted. They've got Blizzard, they've got a Terror Surge of their own. It's up to Vestola now to try and pin someone down, and pin someone down he has done. Blizzard, Terror Surge thrown on top with that kill onto Ken. Limited damage from Quick Esports even after using those ultimates. Perfect target prioritization there from ENCE.
That is actually insane that Quick Esports lost that fight. You look at the May Blizzard, you look at the Terror Surge, being able to lock everybody down into that AoE effect, and that should just be the fight win. ENCE didn't need anything to actually respond to that in order to win out, but versus both of those ultimates. And so you're leaving Quick Esports with 1 minute and 20 seconds left, this Bob and this sound barrier to their name to try to finish out this third piece of the pie. But ENCE have rotations again. They've got their ultimates with the Brig Rally and this Terror Surge again from Vestola.
Sound barrier available. Doesn't end up getting it off, but Tori does not receive that overhealth. Terror Surge to drag Sturball down to Vestola's level as Lauren ends up falling to Kellex. Vestola just soloing that high ground too. Takes down Ken. Ken, sure, picked up a kill onto Kellex, but the spawn advantage for ENCE plus this orbital ray, and Vestola just kind of existing without taking like a minuscule amount of damage. It's just insane. There's no focus fire there. They end up taking down the pieces around Vestola, but Vestola can stand by himself.
I think even with the focus fire, Vestola is going to be so difficult. You've got the tank passive, you've got just your ability to fortify as well as the spear spin. You're just not going to be taking very much damage at all. Vestola's already going to be 40% towards another Terror Surge after all of that damage too, so that's going to be even more difficult. 15 seconds left though for Quick Esports. They did switch over to the far on Lauren.
Orbital ray, they're just a little bit too late from Johan. They couldn't end up saving Ken again, who Vestola just as soon as Ken peeks his little head out from around the corner, Vestola is on him, and that will be it. That's the push over. 92.9% for Quick Esports on the first point of Midtown. That's all they're gonna get as it ends with a nice full hold.
That was so beautiful. I still think back to that one team fight where it was the Blizzard and the Terror Surge getting thrown at them, and ENCE were like, okay, we're just gonna kill you. Like, you're not actually gonna be able to take advantage of any of those abilities because we are just going to walk on your team. And that's just what we should expect from ENCE. And this is just great coaching. This is great prioritization from the team. They understand that in a meta like this, they need to be able to play together as a full unit. And they're doing just that. Finding those small opportunities to even send Vestola out to duel the Ashe or duel the May or the Pharah has been great to see.
I think one thing worth keeping in mind too, especially as we saw Quick Esports, you know, like you mentioned, Rose, lose that fight after using 2 ultimates. They end up losing Ken almost instantly every single time. Ken maybe picks up a kill. There was one fight where Ken picked up Kellex, but then Vestola chased him down. As soon as you lose that Ashe, especially with that, with the Juno ult, the orbital ray, you've got a lot of damage there, sure, from the May, but Ken is really there to put in the work. Hit headshots on the Orisa, force cooldowns, just one tap somebody in the back line. Like, that is the person you're looking to as Quick Esports. Same on the side of ENCE too as well, to be fair, with Kai. Obviously, Kevster puts in a mean punch with the Tracer, of course, as well. It's just ENCE really understanding how the comp works and really focusing down the long-range hit scan. It has a little bit of a struggle. It is struggling a little bit in this meta, if I'm honest. Kevster on the Genji, not something I thought we'd see today, but hey,
I think at this point, Kevster can probably play whatever he wants in this map and still get the win. So let's go ahead and give the Genji the dub. It's also not that bad because I think if you were expecting something like the Ashe, you've got the deflect, throw the dynamites back, throw the shots back, and I think it also gives this team another way to actually get in and just go down main.
Oh, Kevster dashing straight into a wall. Wants to go high ground, or at least try to.
Yeah, but look at the Juno. Those hyper rings able to get Kevster to reposition so quickly. So it doesn't even matter that he gets stuck on the May wall with that because you know that Sky's got his back.
Kevster going super low there as Quick Esports try and crunch ENCE on the cross. Loren kind of holding down the fort on the sidelines here, but it's Sartorius first to fall, and now Kai in a nice little spot. Ends up using the coach gun, not quite enough to get Loren out of the window. Trading shots here and there, and Vestola, I mean, enemy number one for Vestola right now. He's got a vendetta against Ken or something. Point is being capped currently, as the Blizzard does end up coming through from Loren. Ends up getting taken out, but not before he can secure the kill onto the brig. As Quick Esports need to find a quick regroup here. They're going to be able to, and ENCE aren't at full strength either.
They aren't, but you're gonna see Quick Esports have to walk into an orbital ray from Sky. You just send it down that corner.
There it is. Yeah, just send it in. Straight towards that small corridor. Not sure Hattori's going to last too much longer, unfortunately. Nice little spear. There's the stun. There's Vestola with kills. And that'll be it. I mean, ENCE are just going to walk away with this. Easy as that. A 2-0. Was it quick? Yes. Is it easy at the moment? Yes, it is for ENCE. I think right now we're just seeing a little bit of a team gap, and the audience kind of agreeing with this at the top of the show. Man, it is scary when you get your first opponent, or your second opponent, I suppose, after you win your first match. It's like, oh, great, we're in a group with ENCE. Fantastic.
Yeah.
3 winners.
I do hope that Quick Esports don't get too discouraged by this, because I still think that this is a team of players that have come together that are all individually qualified by themselves, and bringing them together on a team, you might struggle a little bit to try to fit all of those pieces together in such a high stakes environment where you know that a spot in the main event is on the line, all of these circuit points are on the line, but I think Hattori can still be like a very cohesive force to bring that team together, and then hopefully all the other pieces start to fall into place there too. Poor Ken, like you were calling this out in the middle of the map, Jaws, but it's kind of like if ENCE understand that Kai's got to pop off the way that he does, then they know that Ken has to do the same, and Ken definitely has the mechanical skill to be able to do that. I mean, he came from a team of OTPs. He wasn't actually an OTP himself, but you know that you actually have to play like a very specific playstyle, or you're going to have some type of carry performance on a team like that just to be able to individually stand out.
This was the map pick of Quick, and of course they did end up picking this against Wasp after they lost control. Junkatan, Hanaoka as well was also in that series, but that was Wasp's pick. I'm wondering if we go to a clash. Maybe just throw ENCE off their game a little bit. But, I mean, even on a Clash map, Juno's incredibly powerful. I think the Brig even more so as well versus the Lucio. You do need to obviously run from point to point to point, but it's a lot more like fighting centralized on points. So I think the Brig gets a lot of value there. Same kind of stats as last round, to be honest. I think ENCE got a single, one more death than they did on that control map. But looking like they're going to take this group 6-0 rows after this one.
I think you're absolutely right about that. And I think what's also coming into play here for both of these teams is also just a backline difference. Quick Esports has been very steadfast in trying to run this Juno and the Lucio. And when we talk about those differences between having something like the Juno and the Brig or the Juno and the Ana versus something like the Juno and the Lucio, Juno and the Lucio actually don't have that much sustain. Your healing per second is not going to be nearly as high as when looking at something like a Juno Ana or even like a Juno Kiriko, for example. And you're also not getting the same type of utility as having any of the other support heroes. Okay, maybe outside of Mercy. Sorry, Mercy players. But even Juno Mercy.
Rose, don't do it. I've messed with the Mercy mains before, and it does not go well. You will get ratioed on.
No, I think Mercy is a fine hero, but I'm saying paired next to Juno is just not necessarily as powerful as I think when you look at something else that offers more utility. Like Kiriko, you get Cleanse, which is such a huge value piece to have in your kit. And similarly with something like the Ana, sleeps and nades, it just makes your team is just so ultra powerful to have all of that burst damage. Lucio just doesn't pack the same type of punch.
Which is really weird, by the way, because it's like, oh my god.
It's weird to say that. Like,
Lucio
what?
not being played? It's like, okay, well, we're going back to a time where Chio Fielder, like Ana, like that kind of vibe, you know? But it's now kind of Juno and Brig, because Juno, incredibly mobile, like we said. Very easy to kind of, oh, we are going to Hanaoka. Damn, I'm kind of crazy with the predictions here.
Wow, you nailed it.
Hanaoka is the map we're going to go to. Okay, so this is the first time I'm casting Flashpoint. Not Flashpoint, sorry. Clash.
Flashpoint.
Clashpoint, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess it is kind of a clash. You are final points, so that does make sense. So I'm excited for this one, Rose. But going back to my point, I think with the Brig as well, Juno, they do be hitting shots, okay? But it's very easy to heal the Juno in the skies, throw the packs out, much more easy to support the Juno and protect the Juno with the Brig versus someone like a Lucio. And Brig can also survive on her own, which is another big, plus for the character. We'll have to wait and see what they want to bring out, though. We'll see if Sturbot is going to continue on that Lucio pick as we go to Hanaoka here with ENCE and Quick Esports.
Pretty excited about this one. So we did see both Hanaoka and Throne of Anubis actually picked from our EMEA teams yesterday, but both of those maps ended up going to 5 points for a team to actually win. There is a different way that teams can win this, which is that if you just get 3 points back to back to back and you do actually capture that point closest to the enemy spawn, you win outright. So this could be a 3-0 for ENCE and the first time we've seen this in OWCS on the broadcast.
It is very hard to cap that third point,
Very difficult. But it's
doable,
possible.
Rose. It's doable, exactly.
Ooh,
Kevster on the venture, but Quick Esports, okay, on the Ryan. Okay, Reinhardt, I'm a fan. Has he got the Arthur skin? That's the question.
But Bap Juno.
Much more of a defensive backline, especially with Kevster too. Lamb comes out, Kevster instantly destroys it. Use that Drow Dash to get away. Point unlocked now, that C point in the center. You see a jostle for this high ground. It's exactly where Quick Esports want to be. Setting Yoham up as well, getting a lot of damage in, can use lamps pretty effectively, but not a place you really want to be against Vestola, which is on this height at the back, as you can get speared off pretty easily. Points being capped by ENCE currently as Vestola does what Vestola does best, and just perma-hold the high ground by himself. But this time around, he's shown the business as Quick Esports lay down a quick lamp, but it will be ENCE capping, despite Quick Esports getting some kills there.
I mean, that was just Vestola and keeping them busy. Like, there's really no other way to put that. I think also Kevster being able to go in and add some disruption into that backline. I think Quick Esports are going to have a tough time dealing with this Venture specifically. Venture can force out the Immortality field. You also have the opportunity to sneak up on a lot of the squishies that are going to be on this team, especially if Ken is going to be off by himself trying to grab an off angle. Will be a little bit more difficult, but here you go. That's the first point for ENCE. Everybody's on their back, though.
Good shatter, but unfortunately the Orisa stands up, goes gold, and that's about it. This little window there from Yoham, just not enough. The shatter on the Orisa, you need more than that. That's the second point capped already. I mean, I'm sure you saw it as well, Rose. A lot of people, I don't know, the game mode currently, a bit 50-50, and to people, oh, I really like it, oh, I don't really like it that much. Some of the games can end very quickly. They did adjust some of the timings and whatnot, but this third point, like you mentioned, Rose, it takes a long time to cap, but every 33% that you do cap, you do get an extra point. So ENCE probably more than happy with just get 1 point.
I mean, they've got 5 ults. Like, they want to close it out here. They can throw everything at this right now. They're gonna wait for Strupper's orbital ready to finish, and then they go back in with their own.
Yeah, well, this is going to be thrown out, but looks like everybody's going to be able to dodge it, apart from Kevster. He's getting a lot of packs, even a rally deployed in front of him to make sure he stays alive. A bash there from Kevster stops the Bob moving on in, and the Bob being cracked, quickly taken down. Terra Surge was almost fully ramped up before the Bob even touched the point. And Quick Esports, they lose all that capture progress, and they're losing their life as well. Subor cannot go down here. You don't want to risk getting staggered like that. At least Lauren, is stalling out for a little bit longer here, but it is still ENCE firmly planting themselves on the point. They're going to guarantee at least a tick and a checkpoint. Oh dear, is this going to be the first 3-0? Surely. It
is. I think the writing is on the wall here. I mean, because there's no BAP. There's no BAP. There's no BAP ult. There's no ult.
Very over, I think. Hattori jumped onto the Doomfist. Instantly hacked by Kevster, who's back on the Sombra of all things. Hattori still holding it down, but quickly and easily taken care of by Kevster. Losing Vestola's not a good start, though. Not a good look for ENCE, but to be honest with you, you got 4 points already. And the map is, what? It's been 3 minutes, 4 minutes, maybe, at most. So, yeah, you're happy with that if you're ENCE. You need 1 more point to take this map and the series.
Yeah, so we, with this point going over to Quick Esports, we are going to go back to point D, where ENCE are ready and waiting. We do have a little bit of a switch up into the team composition. We've got Kevster that's going to be on the Sombra this time around, try to bring it back and just close out the map right here. Almost has an EMP already, as we do see Lauren switch over to the Venture, so kind of potentially stopping rolls there. Hitori going over to the Diva, but Quick Esports, they've got their work cut out for them. It's going to be the Orbital Ray for Strebber, and that is it versus the 5 ultimates that ENCE are about to get online.
So hack on the Venture there. We had to chase down the Venture pretty easily. Better Matrix though from Hitori. Make sure the Venture stays alive even after that nerf. Still looking good with that Matrix. EMP lands and Sky just cleaning up in the Orbital Ray. I mean, that's about it. Rose, Quick Esports. They're going to throw in the Pulse Bomb. I see Bestola just ran into Kellex to try and kill him with a Pulse. W teammate. ENCE with 2 ults, 2 spare. And with Quick Esports trying to get back to the point to even contest. So looking rather unlikely. And a 4-0 for ENCE on this point, as soon as they kill Loren, who managed to get back with the burrow. Oh, goodbye.
Oh.
Oh, Loren's stuck.
What?
They're off the map. But it's all good, because ENCE end up coming out with the victory anyway. A 4-1 on Clash Point in one of, like, that's got to be one of the fastest maps in esports, in Overwatch esports history, surely. I mean, it's kind of conducive to the game mode, but that was fast. ENCE want lunch. Real fast.
I guess they do want no, like dinner. They want dinner.
Oh, dinner, yeah.
Yeah, winner chicken dinner.
Winner,
Wow.
winner, chicken dinner. Hey, we got to see Clash. That was pretty quick, but hey, Clash, let's go.
Let's go. We got to see it. How many minutes was that, genuinely? That must have been, what, like 3? There's no timer on the thing.
It's less than 10.
It's less than 10 for sure.
Less than
Like, there's
10?
no way. Yeah, we'll
Yeah, I mean,
figure it out.
production will probably tell us.
It was probably like 3-4 minutes at most.
The whole map was
Pretty
3 minutes. Are you sure, really?
I
It
think
was at
it was
4
more
minutes
than
at
that.
most. 5 minutes? Okay, someone is
5
gonna
minutes?
figure it out.
It's fine, but
It was
by the way,
quick.
we do all agree that that was a very quick series.
Yeah, the
at the end of
sentiment
it.
is there.
Yeah, but I mean, let's talk a little bit about this match. I mean, I think ENCE really just proves how great of a team they are, right? Just starting right from the get-go. Like, you know, they won stage 3. They were the stage 3 champions for EMEA, and they really just proved how strong of a team they were. And I think it was honestly really surprising.
That was 5 minutes and 20 seconds. I just got in word from production, so pretty
How
quick,
long was
around
it?
5 minutes. Yeah, so fast.
5 minutes and 20 seconds.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's getting 2 checkpoints, like two ticks on the last point is just diabolical. Like an insane lead. Like normally with Flashpoint, it's a bit more of a ping pong. Like I'm sure a lot of people experience this. Well, I think the experience currently with Clash has been, okay, it's either really quick and we just get rolled, or it's ping pong and then you need to win one mid fight. You win the first mid fight and then it goes to your side and you win and they win and then you win and then it's just, okay, we're gonna go one mid fight again and that will decide the map. This one, on the other hand, complete opposite as Quick Esports. Yeah, 5 minutes and 20 seconds is an absurd time.
Yeah, I mean, I think Quick Esports, they definitely, I think, tried their best, but I think it was just ENCE Esports. They were just too strong of a team for Quick Esports to, I guess, sort of find an answer to whatever ENCE Esports pulled out, right?
I mean, I was really
they're the reigning
appreciative.
champions, right?
Yeah, I mean that, but also I was very appreciative that Quick Esports did try something different, especially going over to Hanaoka. We did see the Reinhardt come out. The Baptiste and the Juno is a new backline combination that we haven't seen from them yet in the OWCS group stages. And then we also got a chance to see Loren on a couple of different heroes. So I think that their flexibility is there, and I think they're going to have to try to think about pulling out some of these picks, or maybe going back to do some practice a little bit later with just different backlines or different approaches or something like that. But I still think they have a shot to make it out of this group stage.
Yeah, and of course, the player of the match goes to Kevster. This guy, just built different. I think I feel like I always just, every time just Kevster is just on, you know, just on any hero, he's just on a different level.
Yeah, I mean, the guy can play everything. Everything under the sun. Doesn't matter what hero. he has or gets released, or it doesn't matter. He's just the GOAT. It could have gone to a lot of people in this map, I think. I think Vestola is also a big shout out, especially his ability to kind of lock down areas and kind of punish Ken for even stepping out of spawn most of the time.
Or Kai, though, too. I mean, we talk about the Orbital Ray, that ultimate from the Juno. You get a 35% damage increase to the players that are actually going to be within that aura. And yeah. Kai is going to be the player with the aura, you know, he can hit the headshots. He's just deleting people when that ultimate is online. Everybody had a role to play there, and also Juno can't mess up. Juno and I think Sky and Kellex have very difficult jobs on the team playing those support roles. They can't mess up timing on their cooldowns. They can't mess up timing on the ults.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah, the win, of course, I think everyone just, kind of predicted that it was going to be ENCE, and they did get the win. It was a very quick series, but it's not over for Quick Esports, right? Tomorrow they do have the loser bracket.
They got one more game.
Yeah, they're going to go again, and we'll see how that plays out. And talking about brackets, let's take a quick look at the updated brackets after our first match for EMEA region. ENCE is going to be moving up, and yeah, I mean, Quick Esports, like we said, they still got one more chance. So they gotta step their game up a little bit, to stay alive.
Yeah, stay alive, exactly right. I think that Wasp versus Vendetta will be quite interesting. I've got a feeling Wasp are gonna win that. Could be wrong, but I don't know. I believe in the Gurkmeister. I believe in the Junkrat. I really do. Be a nice little rematch too with Quick Esports and Wasp.
Yeah.
Be nice.
All right, well, that was our first match, and of course, we got a ton of OWCS action to go, but we've also got Season 3 of Face It League to look forward to. Want to start your path to the top? Join Face It League by next Wednesday. That's next Wednesday, and compete against teams of your skill level to rise through Balanced Division to the top. Face It League. It's going to be great. Anything you guys want to add? No?
Sign up.
No,
I thought you were like getting ready to go. Danny was like, "Yeah, I'm just loading up the website right now." Me and Danny are gonna play. Although Danny plays Ryan, we can have a sub, Danny, because Soyu's gonna play the Ram and you can play Ryan. So Ryan maps you can come in, then the Ram maps Soy can come in.
I still got it. I played Overwatch with a couple of my friends, and I was like, yeah, my Ryan's still good. It's decent.
His Ryan's still got it, guys.
I still don't use my shield.
Agent.
But I swing a lot. I'm good at swinging hammers. Anyways, what are we talking about? All right, well, that's enough banter, I feel like. All right, everybody. Match number 2 is going to be Virtuous Pro versus a one-man army that is coming up right after this break. Don't go anywhere.